Morning, Sip Sip. How y'all doing this morning? It's Saturday morning in the great city of Houston, and I'm sitting here on the patio. Thank you for coming back to Sip, Smoke, and Share. Uh, this is Sip, Smoke, and Share, so hit the like, subscribe, and share button. But I want to talk to this morning. I saw a video this week. I think it was, what's the day? Saturday. I think I saw it on Thursday, and it's just been burning inside of me. I saw a video by Lisa Nichols, and it was titled Funding Your Dream. So I don't know how many of y'all know who Lisa Nichols is, but she's the Funding My Dream lady. She has a inspire the masses, motivate the masses. But Lisa Nichols was I don't know what she was doing. She was just working in the LA Unified School District. And so what she started to do was that she wanted to change her life and change her surrounding. So what she started to do was that she was working for the LA School District. She didn't have a degree, and the people were reminding her that she didn't have a degree, but she was like, okay, I'm gonna show y'all. I'm basically just gonna outwork y'all. You understand what I'm saying? And so what she started to do, she said she had a dream, and she started to fund her dream by writing herself a check. So she said that the first check she wrote to herself was $110. And she went into the bank and she talked to the people at the bank and, inquired on, can I mail my check? Do I have to come? Because I want to start putting money in this account and I don't need to know what the balance is. But so they said, yeah, you can mail your check. So she started mailing her checks every 2 weeks. Every time she got paid, she wrote herself a check and put it in the mail to deposit it. And so what she said was that every time she wrote a check, for 3 years she did this. So for those that say it can't be done, here's proof. So she said for 3 years she wrote a check to herself, and she increased the amount. She tried to increase the amount by 5% every time. So for instance, $110 check, the next time it'll be $105, $115. So basically she said that she mailed the check to the bank every 2 weeks. When she got paid, she wrote herself a check first and she put it in the mail, and in the memo line, for those new school, there's a check, and on the left hand side there's a memo. And so she wrote Funding My Dream in the memo line. And so she said after 3 years, but what she did say is that she was looking for opportunities to save money. So she stopped getting her nails done, and then she wrote herself a check. She stopped going to the beauty shop, wrote herself a check. So she said she wrote over 90 checks in a 3-year period. So if we do the math, 33 years is 36 months. Bi-weekly, that's 72. So she would have written 72 checks. So she wrote over 90. So she had 18 more opportunities to fund her dream with different things. She said she moved out of her apartment, moved in with a friend, wrote herself a victory check, Funding My Dream, and every time putting on the memo line, Funding My Dream. She sold her Altima and got her older vehicle, and she made herself a check, mailed it to the bank, and wrote on there, Funding My Dream. She said that was a victory check. So every time she found opportunities to fund her dream. And one of the things that she said is that Funding My Dream became, she believed in herself enough to pay herself first. Because the only thing she was doing was funding her dreams. One of her quotes is that you are the designer of your destiny. So she was designing her destiny at that point by willing to sacrifice and give up some things to fund her dream. So she said that when she went in the bank after 3 years, it was her and her son. And I think she said her son was like 5. And so they went to the bank and they were standing at the teller. And she said, I want to check my balance. My name is Lisa Nichols. And she said the lady screamed. And she was like, looking astonished. And the lady was like, "You're the funding my dream lady." And she was like, and she said, all the tellers came over, to look at her, and the bank manager came over like, "You're the fund my dream lady. You're the fund my dream lady. What? We want to know, what is the dream?" And she said, by this point, I didn't know what the dream was. I just basically wanted to change my life. And so she said, as we stood there, the lady wrote down on a piece of paper and gave it to me. And she said, when I saw the number, I was like, "No, you have the wrong person. My name is Lisa Nichols." And the lady said, "Yeah, that's your money. You've been sending checks every 2 weeks and even more to fund your dream. That's all your money." And she had $62,500 in the bank after 3 years. So she said that she was living, she had funded her dream. And one of the things she said, she just believed in herself because she paid herself. So the question to you is that what's holding you back? Because a lot of people say, well, I can't do this, and just, it inspired me because I started doing YouTube. I've been doing this almost a year. You know what I'm saying? And I was doing videos 3 times a week and 4. Then I started posting videos every day. And so people ask me, it's like, "Man, you always doing it." It's like a part-time job. Why? Because I believe in me. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't nobody paying me. I'm not paying anybody. I take the time. I may spend an hour to 3 hours a day replying, answering comments, talking with people. This is what I do. This don't require anybody else. My closest friends don't even know this is what I do. Why? Because I haven't told them. Because this is what I'm doing. They'll find out when it becomes popular, but I do it quietly. I don't need anybody knowing what I'm doing and in my business like that. I meet people and tell them. So one of the things you have to understand is that you don't get over fear. You're going to have to go through that fear to get what you want. You don't get over it, you got to go through it. So what is your dream? How are you going to fund your dream? One of my things last year was I said I wanted to be debt free. And back in September, the middle of September, I was looking at my finances and saying, damn, my dream was up here. I'm like not even halfway there. So I had to make some changes. You understand what I'm saying? I stopped going out a lot, stopped eating out. I didn't eat out occasionally, but I started 2 or 3 more savings. I increased my money in my savings. I added another $100. I've added some more stuff to my investment because my dream is to be debt free by 2027. That's my goal. And so I'm going to fund my dream by cutting out some things. So you don't get over fear, you just go through it. So I'm asking you, what are your dreams? This is my dream. You're watching my dream come to manifest. I'm manifesting my dream. So she also said that one of her things is that your whole life is a manifestation of the things that go in your head. So what are you believing about yourself? What are you thinking about yourself? Huh? Sip, Smoke, and Share was just an idea until I started doing it. And I didn't get over the fear of doing it. I just do it. And I think later today, what time is it right now? I'm looking at this phone. Okay, so I'm getting ready to go to one of the events they have in here in Houston just to film it. So I can be there and just, give my perspective on it and my take. So I ask you, what is your dream? Whatever your dream is, start funding it. Move in that direction. Nobody's going to come to save you. Nobody's going to, and if it's about money, save some money. Put some money up. So thank y'all for coming to Sip, Smoke, and Share. Hit the like, subscribe, and share button. Y'all have a good one. Sip, sip.